Hello to the world and to the kingdom citizens. I greet you in the precious holy name of Yeshua Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, who said in his word, John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Hi, I'm Dr. John Curry, Ambassador, Pan-African, and welcome to the Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. If you want to follow this podcast, please subscribe to JC Global MSC TV1. Today's message is part 2, Looking for My Father Again. And this is with the women, or shall we, girls and women, looking for their fathers again. We trust God that you will be able to receive this message, and we trust God that you will find your father and let your father know how much you love him. So looking for my father again as we begin to move forward. I trust you really enjoy this. By the way, this is from the old archives of yesteryear.
Hello, I'm Pastor John Curry, Belleville Bible Way Church, and we're glad to be here with you today because we're going to be talking about a very pertinent subject, and that subject matter is looking for my Father again. Yes, that's what I said, looking for my Father again. I don't know about many of you, but myself, I didn't meet my father until I was 16 years old, and I had to go find him then. It was very, very painful. Went through a lot of shock and awe, if you please, not really knowing who the man was that called himself being my father. Well, we talked about in the first series with the young men looking for my father again, and I'm just excited today to be able to share with you some of the things that the young ladies are going to have to say about looking for their father. It may be a different kind of twist, but we still want to get right down to the meat of it all. And we're just glad they're here, glad that you joined us, and we trust that you can get something out of this. And let's start right now and have them introduce themselves and tell how old they are. We'll go from there. Okay, we'll start at this end right here.
My name is Nicole, and I'm 22 years old.
Hello, my name is Tanika Galloway, and I'm 23 years old.
Hello, my name is Roxanne Taylor, and I'm 29 years old.
Hello, my name is Jamia Randolph, and I'm 22 years old.
Hello, my name is Monique Carlisle, and I'm 24 years old.
Hello, my name is Retha Davis, and I'm 16 years old.
Hello, my name is Antoinette Davis, and I'm 18 years old.
Hello, my name is Nixie Davis, and I'm 19 years old.
Hello, my name is Tamara Kilpatrick, and I'm 19 years old.
Hello, my name is Paquita Morris, and I'm 20 years old.
Hi, my name is Keisha Winford, I'm 26 years old.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Jones, and I'm 23 years old.
Well, praise God. As you can see, we have them from 16 to 29, and a lot of different kinds of variations, which means that the discussion is going to be very, very strenuous, but yet dealing with some core issues. We're going to pose a simple question. We got a series of maybe 3 questions that we're going to have some dialogue in, and we're going to trust that the young ladies can give us some answers pertaining to the relationship of their father. Question number 1, I would just like to pose out, and we'll recognize the hands of those of you that may want to answer it. Do you think, without a father in your life, that some young ladies may have a tendency of seeking a father in another male figure, and maybe that male figure may take advantage of them? Go ahead.
Yes, I do believe so, because me, myself, I didn't have a father, and I found my father at 16 as well, like you did. And for me and my relationships, I look at other men, like older men than myself, than my age. And I look into that and seeking what a father figure is, because I don't know what a father figure is, because I never had a father around me.
So how does that make you feel, knowing that you never had a father in your life?
Well, that make me feel bad, and it really hurts because, growing up, I seen other kids around me with their fathers spending quality time, them other kids' fathers kissing and hugging on them, and I never had that. Okay. So it hurts.
My father, he haven't been in my life, but he been in my life. And and I have a baby, and so I try my best to keep my baby's father in my baby's life, and I look forward to my baby's daddy being a father to my baby, cause with my father, he wasn't a father, but I still loved him, and he was there, but he wasn't there.
Okay, give me more. Explain that. He was there, but he wasn't there.
It was like he was around. Like you say, your father could still be in the house, but not in the house. He was around, and he was on a little. He had his problems then. So that's
okay. Let me ask this question: have any of you here? Have your father ever looked at you and said, "Wow, you're such a beautiful young lady"? Have your father ever shared that with you? Okay. How many of you has ever been kissed on the forehead or on the cheek by your father? Just been told and hugged you that he said he loved you and all that? Okay. How many of you really understand how important it is? Do you understand that that's important for a daughter to receive affection from a father? Okay. Clean affection. You know, I'm not talking about no crazy affection. I'm talking about clean affection. Okay. Let me ask another question. Do you think a father is very important in your life? Is it important? Pass the microphone to the young lady down there in the middle. And why don't you talk about how important a father is to you in your life?
It's important that your father is in your life. See, to me, I'm glad my daddy in my life. He been in my life all my life. That's my daddy and my mom. So I'm glad my daddy in my life. It's important. See, he could tell me things about to watch out for in the streets, for like men and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? How the man gonna treat me or whatever. That's cool to have a father in your life too. So
to me, it's important to have a father in your life because what I have experienced in my father, I'm glad, very, very glad. Without my father, I don't know what I'll be or where I'll be at right now today. So for the people that doesn't have that father in their life, I feel sorry for them. But when he come, you might not like it because he wasn't there at first. But like I said, for me, I experienced a lot of my father. He's always been there for me and my sisters and brothers.
How important is a father to you in your life?
Well, it's important because with me, my biological father died when I was 11, but my stepfather has always been in my life, which is my sister's father. He did things with me and for me and talked to me about certain things that needed to be talked about. So I wouldn't be able to say how it is not to have your father in your life because I've always had a male role model in my life.
A male role model, but not necessarily your father.
Not necessarily a father.
Okay, so what is that emotion?
I can't say he's actually my father because he's not my father. He's just someone that helped my mother raise me.
But how do you feel about your father that wasn't there?
I can't really say.
You can't really say or you don't want to say?
I don't want to say.
Okay. A lot of anger there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what we're talking about. Talking about the anger, talking about the pain, talking about this stuff that's in the core that normally what mothers end up doing is passing on to their children. They pass on to their children about a poor relationship they had with their father. So when their children's father come around, all of this anguish and all this animosity is built up because there was no real relationship with their father. So as a result of that, you got generation after generation of generation of fathers not being in the home because of the pain that's being transferred from the mother to the child. We're going to continue. You want to speak on how important a father is in your life?
Well, I think it's important to have a father in your life, but my father, he passed on Christmas in 2000. And I really didn't know him. I didn't meet him until I got like 16. I knew about him, but I really didn't know him. And it just hurt when he passed because I really didn't get a chance to know him and know the person that he probably would have been. So that's all I have to say.
Okay. Let's pass it down here. Nicole. Why don't you speak on that, Nicole, for us, please? How important is a father to you in your life?
Well, a father is very important because for the simple fact that you need someone around besides your mother, someone to give you that firm, adjustment that you need that your mother can't give you. You always have your mother around, but when it comes to the father, it's like a different kind of discipline. It's like you'll listen more to your father than you would your mother because, your father is not really going to play with you. What he say is what he mean, but your mother, she'll probably give you a little leniency every now and then, but your father is going to be your father. He really is not going to change his ways or his decisions on, what he say. What he say is what he say. So basically, it's very important for anybody to have a father, even if it's a stepfather. Everybody needs somebody to be there for them and to help them as they, progress and get older.
So would the group agree that along with the hugs come discipline, right? So having a father in your life, you get hugs, but you also don't get discipline. But if you're just getting hugs and no discipline, what's going to happen to the child? What's going to happen to the daughter, if you please? How many of you know of young ladies that got everything they wanted from their father, but really didn't get a lot of discipline? When we get to that question, I want this young lady here to speak upon how important the father is to you in your life.
I couldn't answer that question.
Hold it like that. Okay, you can't answer the question?
No.
Why not?
But when I did see my father, he always told me that he was my father and that he loved me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't speak on that.
Well, he was your father and that he loved you?
Yes.
Okay, so how did it make you feel knowing that he loved you? But
It made me happy. He was there. No, he wasn't there.
Okay, but
my mother had 5 girls and 1 boy, and she did everything for us.
Tough, wasn't
it? Yes. And my daddy didn't do nothing. So I can't answer that.
So how did that, as far as relationship with men, how did that work with you on that?
Well, my mother never had no guy over us. She always told us she'll never put a man over us. So she was there for us and did everything for us.
Okay. Another thing that I want to bring up, the answer is always in the pain. When I didn't know my father, I was crying too. I was in pain. I was hurting. It was in the core. And you know what? I didn't have nobody doing what I'm trying to do with these young people. I had nobody to talk to, so I went to school, became the biggest bully in the school, picking fights, just raising all kind of problems, because the man that I cared about that didn't know was not in my life. So as you can see, there's a lot of pain, but the answer is always in the pain. And what we're doing here today is getting these young ladies to work through the pain. Are we going to have a quick fix today? Of course not. But what we're trying to do is to get them to begin to talk about it. So if their fathers are watching, they can see the pain that they're causing their children. Let's move on. What would you say to that? How important is a father in your life?
Well, I think that it is very important to have a father. My daddy was there, but he was in the house, the same house I was in, but he never disciplined me. I did what I wanted to do. I guess maybe because he kissed me, hugged me, told me he loved me, but he didn't discipline me. My mama didn't discipline me neither. She was there, but she stayed gone a lot, so I was there with my dad all the time. And
I need to interrupt you. He kissed you, he hugged you, affirmed you, but he didn't discipline you.
No, he did.
So how did that make you feel? Not being, curfews and having curfews and all that?
No, I didn't have a curfew.
So what was that telling you?
That he didn't care?
He didn't care. Segue. It's critical that you understand. The Bible says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. So when you really love your children, you discipline them. You set guidelines, you set parameters for them to be able to come in the home, for them to act while they're in the home. He who does not discipline his children or telling the children, as this young lady has said, probably don't care. And if you don't care, it reflects and spill over into a whole lot of other things. Continue on.
And I cried because he didn't discipline me, because I used to get in a lot of trouble. I got pregnant when I got 16. And I used to stay in trouble. I used to be in and out of jail all the time. And he ain't never just sit down and talk to me and tell me what was wrong or right. I used to have to find out the hard way on my own. And I didn't like that. And it made me feel bad. Because my daddy went there, but he was there. He just didn't ever tell me right from wrong. I didn't know right from wrong. I had to find out by learning on my own.
Well, I feel that it's very important, but I really didn't have that because my mother had plenty of male role models, supposed to be role models around me, but they wasn't the right one. Most of the men that I have seen my mother with were basically woman beaters and treating women wrong, and I didn't like seeing that. And whenever I grew up, when I was growing up, I was hurting real bad. And so when I met my father, I had to find him and ask him answers why. He said mostly it was my mother's fault, but I didn't want to hear that. And the only time he would actually tell me he loved me was when we was in front of a group of people that was going to help him. And that hurt me. That's like, trying to put a front. Don't front me in front of nobody. And I feel really hurt right now because right now he's married and he got a wife and he got another child of his own. But I still want to spend time with him, even though I'm 23 years old. He don't spend time with me. He don't call me. He tell me I got to call him. And I'm just hurting because I feel that my father should be there.
So it's painful to know that he got another child and you're 22 years old and you still need the comfort and the caring of your father. Normally what takes place in this is that young ladies, 22, 16, what the father don't give them at home, they go get it on the streets. And they seek out all kind of individuals to get it. So fathers, if you're listening, don't be mad at them. Don't be upset. Don't get so frustrated. Take some time out with your children. Let them know that you really love them, that you care about them, and drop your rocks. Be the man that you know God needs for you to be. Step up to the plate and father your children. See, being a father just don't mean you just have children leading with the mom and go out and do whatever else you want to do. You got to raise your children, discipline your children, love your children, be there for your children. No matter what it takes, you got to do it. And when you do that, then they know you love them. But not doing that, you get some of the results we're getting here today. If you could talk to your father openly, what would you tell him? What would you share with your father if you could talk to him openly?
If I could talk to my father, I would share everything. I would tell him everything I do if I was open with him, but I'm not. I would share, like when I go out, I would tell him about me and my boyfriend or whatever. I would tell him about any and everything.
If I can talk to my father openly, I would tell him that, even though he is there in our life, but he's never around. He there, but he come home and he leave for like 2 and 3 days all the time and stuff. You never see him. If I could talk to him openly like that, I would tell him that it's other ways to be a father than to just give you money and all this type of stuff like that. It's other ways to be a father. You don't have to buy your kids. You know what I'm saying? You have to be there. You have to be there.
Hold it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some good stuff. This is some real good stuff. In other words, the conversation is that you don't have to buy your love. All you have to do is be there and you'll get the love. Okay.
If I could talk to my father openly, I would talk to him about basically like just what my sister said. He my father. He be there, but he not always there. He always in and out. He come in, he fuss, just do stuff like that, try to play boss when he ain't never there.
So how does that make you feel? You know,
Sad.
sad. Okay.
If I could talk to my father openly, I would probably talk to him about why he left my mother pregnant with me. I'd probably talk to him about why he left regardless of what the situation was. Why was he not trying to work it out with her? Or, you know, why was he not trying to be there for me or try to be there for my mother as far as me growing up? You know, I would talk to him about a whole bunch of different stuff. I talked to him about the interest that I have or the interest that I have had. And I just, you know, it's just so much that I talk to him about, and it's so much open opportunity that I feel that I could have had, but it's like, it's not there. It's just not there.
And I believe we're moving right along with this. And I know this is painful. But one thing that I learned real early that young ladies need, I have a daughter and I have a granddaughter, they need to be affirmed. And the only person that can affirm you is your father. They need to affirm you by telling you that you can do it, by telling you that you have the right tools, you're very smart, you're very intelligent. They need to affirm you. How many in here has been really affirmed, that you really feel that you've been affirmed by your father? Where you've gotten the motivation, where if you said, Dad, you know what? I want to be a doctor. Would he laugh? Or would he say, you know what, baby? I believe you can be a doctor. You can be anything you want to be. That's what I mean by being affirmed, to help you to attain your goals. Anybody in here want to speak on that as far as being affirmed by your father?
I was never affirmed by my father, but I was affirmed by my stepfather. And I've always been the type to have a lot of energy in me. And I started, like one day I just started to run around the house just to see how long it would take me to get tired. And I guess, you know, he was just looking out the window and just watching me kept past the window. And I guess he put it into his mind to put it in his, yeah, it's true though. I guess he put it in his mind that, you know, that I was a runner. So he basically took me to a park and, you know, just told me to run, you know, on the track, and just told me to run. And they like kind of inspired me to run track, and I was really good at it, you know, up until a point where, you know, things got rough and I didn't have that affirm anymore, so I kind of just drifted. But, you know, that's basically like how that's pretty much the only time was that time.
The other question that I want to ask you is this. What do you see in men today as a prospective father? Do you see many prospective fathers out there for us? You know, are the young men being groomed enough to be fathers? Are they having an understanding of what their roles are as fathers? What do you think about that as young ladies?
No, because all my baby dads look like my daddy.
Me and my dad like your dad.
Me and my dad, we can get along better as sisters. Every time we see each other, it's like, hey sister, hey brother. Before it's him being my daddy, no, it's never happened. He ain't never been he been in and out of my life, trying to play boss. And I don't mean, we don't have no relationship at all. I don't listen to him. When he see me, he always told me, I'll never forget it, you gonna have a whole lot of kids. And he's sure right, I got 4. My dad ain't never been there, he never disciplined me. And then when he did come around, it was like, we always joked. It was nothing between us. Like I say, we get along as better as saying we're sisters and brothers than he's my daddy.
But how does that make you feel?
It made me feel better that way. I'd rather him to be my brother than my daddy.
But you know he's not.
Right. But that's the only way we get along.
If you could talk to him openly, what would you say?
I don't know.
Oh, you know. You know. What would you tell him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why not write him a letter one day? Just write him a letter, empty your feelings out. You ain't got to mail it. Just empty your feelings out. Fact about it, I suggest all of you, write your father a letter. Empty all of your guts out. Empty your feelings out. Put it all on paper. Then you know what you need to do after that? Get you a nice little vase or something. And then you pray on all the pain that you did. And then burn it. Then when you burn it, you're burning up all that past hurt, all those past pains. So that stuff won't control your life. Because it will, believe you me, it will control your life. It will manipulate your life. And you'll be looking for your father in other men and other toxic relationships. And that's why some women end up doing a lot of crazy things, because the male figure either was in their life and not really there, or not in their life at all. What we're going to do right now is piggyback on the first question that was asked. And that question is that if you do not have a father in your life, do you seek fatherhood or seek a male to be that father for you? And many times that older male will take advantage of it. We're going to have the young ladies talk about that.
Well, yes, because like I said at the beginning, that I look at all my life I've dated people older than me. And right now I'm married to somebody that's 17 years older than me. And it's a big hassle because, you know, he betrays me as his wife one minute, but then his daughter next minute. And it's like a friction coming between there, because he try to tell me stuff and I try to tell him stuff, and he say, well, you know, you was this young when I was doing this, you know, and that's like a constant hassle.
So that's frustrating.
Yes.
Being in that situation. So the thing I would say to you, those of you that are angry with your father, what you need to do, you need to pray for your father. And you also need to forgive your father. Because what you won't let go will destroy you. How many understand that? What you will not let go will destroy you. And you'll find yourself 50 years down the road angry with your father because of some past stuff. You got to let it go. And that's what we're doing now, is a way of getting you to let that go. As you can see, there have been much discussion on looking for my father again. And I trust that we help you out in some kind of way. We know we're not solving all of the problems. We know we're not beginning to even scratch the edge of the surface. But what we are doing is dealing with some of the core issues and some of the pain that these young ladies are going through. I trust that you got something out of this, looking for my father again, as well as I trust that you dealt with some core issues. You saw the tears, you saw the laughter, you saw the joy, and most importantly, you saw the pain. And always remember, the answer is in the pain. Thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.